Between all the wizards, wands, and blind crime fighters, 2026 is shaping up to be a big year for the small screen. Just check out these upcoming shows that will knock your socks off. 2011's Green Lantern movie remains a joke over a decade after the fact. Even Ryan Reynolds continues to make fun of it. But the rebooted DC universe, spearheaded by James Gunn and Peter Safran, is set to include a new take on the Green Lantern mythos, and there's already plenty to get excited about. HBO's Lantern show will reportedly have a plot in the vein of True Detective, involving the lead space cops coming to Earth for a case. Kyle Chandler will play Hal Jordan, while Aaron Pierre has been cast as Jon Stewart. Nathan Fillion will also reprise his role as fellow Green Lantern Guy Gardner from Superman and Peacemaker.
Guy, great to see you again.
With the Green Lantern film still regularly mocked, the character is due for some much-needed rehabilitation. A series that allows the writers to really dig deep into this area of DC's mythos should be perfect. We're still short on an exact premiere date, but it's now set to come out in early 2026. With the success of Superman, this new iteration of DC will hopefully continue on the right path, as 2026 is also the year we can expect Supergirl to hit theaters. The Marvel Cinematic Universe has had a rough few years. The once infallible franchise now has projects regularly underperforming at the box office or getting heavily criticized.
Since when were they red?
But there are still plenty of reasons to be optimistic leading up to Avengers: Secret Wars. 2026 is poised to be a big year, especially with Spider-Man: Brand New Day and Avengers: Doomsday coming out. And that should also be the year when we can expect the return of Vision in a new Disney Plus series, Vision Quest. The last episode of WandaVision had the new White Vision flying off, so one would assume the show will follow him as he grapples with the idea of being a mere copy. Paul Bettany will return to play Vision, with James Spader reportedly reprising his role as Ultron, and Tania Miller debuting as Jocasta, an android created by Ultron to be his bride, though she eventually joins the Avengers. Bettany told The Hollywood Reporter that he was excited about what the writers were making, but as with most things Marvel, the details are being kept under wraps.
I know nothing about it, obviously, and even if I did, I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Vision's return will be a long time coming, seeing as we last left off with him back in 2021 when WandaVision came out. But Vision Quest highlights a major Marvel problem in that there are too many ideas getting thrown at the wall, with a lot getting teased without a ton in the way of fulfillment. Hopefully the show winds up being worth the wait. While the prospect of another Star Trek film remains elusive, things keep moving along for the franchise on television. In fact, a new series is already planned to come out in 2026 called Star Trek Starfleet Academy, and it promises to push the franchise into a bold new frontier. Reports indicate Starfleet Academy will be more young adult-centric and take place largely in San Francisco in the 32nd century. The story is set to follow the first new group of Starfleet cadets in decades as they deal with an increasingly inert supply of dilithium, which is essential for proper warp drive operation. Alex Kurtzman, showrunner and executive producer for the series, told the Los Angeles Times that the show will have a thoughtful, forward-thinking approach, saying, "As the father of a 17-year-old boy, I see what my son is feeling as he looks at the world and to his future. I see him recognizing he's inheriting an enormous mess to clean up, and it's going to be on his generation to figure out how to do that. And that's a lot to ask of a kid." Starfleet Academy will boast a young cast, but there's plenty of experienced talent to fill out the ranks. Oscar winner Holly Hunter is going to play the Academy's Chancellor, and Paul Giamatti will portray an antagonist connected to one of the new cadets. Tig Notaro will reprise her Star Trek Discovery role as Jet Reno, and Star Trek Voyager star Robert Picardo returns as the emergency medical hologram, also known as the Doctor. The ending of House of the Dragon Season 2 didn't have much in the way of epic battles. If anything, it merely sets the stage for what's to come in Season 3. And anyone who's read George R.R. Martin's Fire and Blood knows that things are just heating up within this war between the rivaling factions of House Targaryen. And if Season 2 felt like an escalation, Season 3 should see the pot boil over and finally see more frequent fights break out.
We must break the will of our enemy, or more will die in a struggle that stretches on without end.
House of the Dragon is naturally a very effects-heavy show, and since it took 2 years between Seasons 1 and 2, fans should expect a similar time frame for Season 3. but things appear to be moving along nicely to its 2026 premiere, as the show reportedly began shooting in early 2025. Additionally, there's a clear endgame in sight, with the show expected to last 4 seasons total. Another prequel, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, based on the Hedge Knight from the Tales of Duncan Egg novellas, is in production and is expected to debut in 2026. Other Game of Thrones spin-offs are in early development or under consideration, so even as House of the Dragon barrels toward its conclusion, there could be plenty more within this franchise coming to HBO very soon. The real reason The Boys is ending with Season 5 is largely due to series creator Eric Kripke not wanting the show to overstay its welcome. The Boys has proven to be one of the most essential series in superhero media in recent years, skewering not just the genre, but the entertainment industry as a whole, and modern American politics.
Gentlemen, 7 is a circle of trust.
Anyone who watched Season 4 can clearly see how it was the beginning of the end, as Homelander has become a de facto ruler of the United States, and many of the boys have now been apprehended. Fans will have to wait a bit before seeing how all of this ends. Billy Butcher actor Carl Urban hinted as much in a July 2024 Instagram post that said, "See you in 2 years, wish it was sooner for the final season." And in July 2025, Urban posted that he'd wrapped filming for Season 5, which makes late summer or early fall 2026 a likely bet for when the season will premiere. In mid-2024, Kripke revealed to Games Radar Plus that there are big plans for the series finale. There's no guarantee who's going to survive because you don't have to keep the cast for another season, so you can have really shocking, big things happen all the time. The story has already taken major liberties from the comics, so even those who know how the comic story plays out should be in for some surprises going into the last batch of episodes. Having successfully resurrected the Man Without Fear after the cancellation of his Netflix show and fully integrated him into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Marvel Studios is dropping Season 2 of Daredevil Born Again in March 2026. Technically, it's all one season, as Born Again was originally filmed as one long 18-episode story that was broken up into 2 seasons and extensively retooled along the way. Season 2 will find Matt Murdock consolidating his forces in opposition to New York City Mayor Wilson Fisk, who is aggressively using his anti-vigilante task force to go after Matt and other crime fighters. Along with Matt and Fisk, most of the main characters are returning, while Kristen Ritter will reprise the role of Jessica Jones from her own Netflix series. Matthew Lillard and Lily Taylor are also joining the show as new cast members.
Look out! The railing!
Futurama is a sitcom that'll never die. It's bounced from Fox to Comedy Central to its current home at Hulu, where it's been for the last 2 seasons, and it's going to remain there for the foreseeable future. Season 12 ended in September 2024 with the episode Otherwise, which could have been a viable series finale in its own right, with different versions of Fry and Leela getting married before an explosion seemingly kills them all. Fortunately, another Fry and Leela have been safe in an alternate reality, leaving the door open for many more adventures.
This voyage has been an incomprehensible nightmare.
The show was picked up for another 2 seasons back in November 2023, giving the team plenty of time to get to work on more episodes to keep the saga going. And after Season 13 in September 2025, Season 14 could easily stick to a yearly release schedule with a 2026 drop date. While Futurama has overarching continuity, most episodes stand on their own. It's a chance to skewer modern technology, pop culture, and politics in a futuristic setting. The question remains, will Season 14 be the end yet again, or will Futurama continue until it reaches the 31st century? In February 2024, a press release stated that Rings of Power showrunners J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay signed a new 3-year deal with Prime Video, which should see them through Season 3 and a little after. The current plan is for the fantasy series to have 5 seasons total, and things have been steadily building towards that end.
Sauron's armies are roving across Eriador. All Middle-earth is within his reach now.
McKay told The Hollywood Reporter, "I would just say we are enormously proud of Season 2 and the work that all these amazing actors did and all our incredible collaborators did. We think the show is just hitting its stride, and we anticipate that Season 3 will be onward and upward." The Rings of Power Season 3 doesn't have a release date yet, but given the 2 years between Season 1 and 2, it would make sense for the same pattern to follow for these new episodes. The show began shooting its third season in February 2025, which means a 2026 premiere is possible, though we wouldn't be surprised if it ends up hitting Prime in early 2027. Once upon a time, the Harry Potter franchise came into the world like a money dementor, ready to suck the price of admission out of billions of moviegoers. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, or Sorcerer's Stone in the US, first cast its cinematic spell in 2001, and over the next decade, both the books and the films built the world even larger. But since the movies ended, the franchise has struggled. Now, HBO will take the franchise back to its roots with a new TV series that will adapt the Harry Potter books once more. Full transparency, this could very well end up being a 2027 release. Current reports say either late 2026 or early 2027, so we'll have to wait a bit before we find out exactly when we get invited back to Hogwarts. Succession director Mark Mylod will executive produce and direct some episodes, with John Lithgow, Nick Frost, and more Hollywood heavyweights taking on the roles of Albus Dumbledore, Hagrid, and others. The three main characters, Harry, Hermione, and Ron, have also been cast, with Dominic McLaughlin, Arabella Stanton, and Alistair Stout respectively taking on the roles. Arabella Stanton also voiced Hermione in the audiobooks.
It's Wingardium Leviosa. Make the gar nice and long.
The plan is to adapt all 7 novels, with 1 season per book. It's unclear if there will be 7 seasons or more though, as it has been hinted that the show could run for 10 consecutive years. Either way, HBO and Warner Brothers are confident this show will be a hit.